we can pull back on a little bit of these hops and add something else.
To be honest, they've probably cut back on a little bit now that it's gone to lime.
With the mic and chatting news on all things beer. Joined by Phil, Dan, and Matt, or anyone else to join the cheer. Hiker Brewing is where we chat, 'cause it's where good beers are at. So pour it out.
All right, Matty, how are you?
Not bad. It's been a while.
It has been, mate. So for those who might only be new listeners or who don't know, who are you? What are you doing on my podcast?
Yeah, I'm a ring-in. I'm the second ring-in.
Long-time listener, second-time host?
Yeah, co-host. I'm not the host, you're the co-host. Well, I'm the co-host. So...
Apparently it's Phil's podcast. According to Luke Cooper.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Matty Wolf, been in the brewing industry a while, now working for TAFE Queensland, working with Hendo, doing the Cert 3 Brewing. So that's pretty much me at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been a weird couple of months, but...
yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
I think
helping close up the brewer. The
Brew Baron,
beer.
I think the last time I was on here, we were talking about the Ukrainian Golden Ale.
That's right, yeah, which is still floating around.
Eaton's Hill have a little bit, I believe.
On tap as UGA, or who knows.
I'm trying to grab a couple of kegs.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a keg
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, exactly. I missed that beer.
Oh, it's great beer, beer style. Before we get into too much, we'll come back to that UGA thing for sure. Phil's away. Well, he's not really. He's standing at the bar, but he's just got a shitload of stuff to do. Dan's brewing beer, and you were standing at the bar, and they both said, "Oh, can you jump in?"
Yeah, and I've just gone, whatever.
Yeah,
no
whatever.
problem.
Yeah, not a problem. Sweet as. Quick shout out to our sponsors, as always: Bintani, Craft Punks Canning, Convoy Kegs, Rowlings Labels and Stickers, and of course,
Hiker Brewing.
Concern. It is concerning. It's a Philism.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not Phil, so I thought I would leave it to you to do that part.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I've been doing it both ways. Heads up too, people. The audio on this might be a little bit different. My laptop died, and I'm using a different laptop, and not sure if everything's working. I've hopefully got the settings correct.
And we've got Dan running CRP in the background.
He's always doing that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. In the background of all of them, you hear like cans going, or I can see like CO2 being released.
Oh, man, you're just
it's
doing quite
a
well
working
then.
brewery, mate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, got to do what you got to do. Back to the UGA. So Hendo's over in Japan at the moment.
Oh man, when I got that
beers.
photo, I was so annoyed.
Well, he sent me a photo, and he just sent me a photo of like him and this woman on the other side of the table, and he goes, "Small world," and I'm going, wait.
Hang on.
Is that Lala? And he's gone, yes, it is.
And then when you sent that to me, I've gone, no way. Like, seriously, come on.
So for those who don't know, there's a beer style that a lady called Lana from Ukraine is trying to get recognised in beer style guidelines all around the world. She's a beer judge, she's a brewer, she's a massive beer aficionado. She's
beer historian, I think, is her title.
And this new beer style called Ukrainian Golden Ale, which we brewed.
Yeah, well, it's not even that new. It's been around for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of decades, actually. But it hasn't really taken off internationally.
And that's the thing. Like, if that's what a lot of the beer style guidelines are saying. That if people aren't brewing them, why do they need to create a style guideline for it?
Which is fair enough.
I disagree.
Really?
100%. And if
actually,
I didn't know that the style guidelines were a thing, and I didn't go searching for an Adam beer,
that's true.
You know,
there's actually
you would never find it.
You're not wrong. I've had a few times where.
Why does it need to be removed? Like, doesn't need to be like there all the time. And if you enter it into a style, if it's the only one, then it's going to have to be put in with like a whole bunch of other ales or something to be recognised.
I mean, we've still got that in both BJCP, which is a bit older, and then you've got BA.
So the BJCP does include the Ukrainian Golden Ale.
It does.
Yep.
But it's just not in the commercial, which is the BA style guidelines.
That's right.
That everyone else uses.
Yeah, which like I get their stance on it, but I also do maintain the whole reason that like Goza is a style
Yes.
is because American brewers found the style guidelines, read
In
it
the,
up,
in the
looked
history
at it,
books.
Yep.
And went,
brewed
this is
this
great.
style,
Let's
and now
make
we
it.
have a Goza.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Goza's freaking terrific,
Oh.
and they're one of my favourite beer styles. Every beer
No,
style is my
really?
favourite beer style. Apparently, I say that about 18 or 20 different beer styles, but
Yeah.
but Goza is what got me into brewing. I was
Yes, that's
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
So for those sort of things, like I just think for reference, why do they need to be removed from a guideline?
No, see,
That's what a guideline is for.
I agree
So
with
whether
you.
or not
They-
there's a line and it says beer styles no longer produced or minimal production,
but even with that, we've still got historical beer styles.
100%. Like on Lars' blog, there's a beer style called Keptinis, which is an oven-baked Lithuanian beer, which you bake in an oven that's starting at 300 degrees Celsius. You don't lauter the beer. You put all the mash and wort into baking trays and shove it in the oven and let that Maillard reaction happen in the baking trays. Asked Matty Glanville, he brewed one at Fritzenberger.
Did he?
I went up there and tasted it to see how mine was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
mine and his tasted the same. I was stoked. I was like, fuck yeah. So yeah, ask him about that.
Yeah.
Because that's how I met Matty.
Yeah,
I went and
right.
hassled him about his Keptinis. But, and we
The
both...
weird shit that I learned about my colleagues.
Yeah, right. So we both read it on Lars' blog about how to brew this. And I brewed 2 of them at home. And yeah, it's a super, like you take it out, once it's all baked properly after 3 or 4
Yeah,
hours,
yeah.
you take it back out and you put it back in your lauter, and that's when you lauter it.
Yeah, so it's
And
like a superheated.
It's kind of like a raw ale.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So you don't boil at all.
Yeah.
No boiling at all. And then there's...
It's a hot side decoction.
Yeah. Well, it's like where Kvike came from. All
Yeah,
these sort of
all
things.
this old
There's
school. Yeah.
beer style, rice beer in India called Handia. There's
Yep.
the one in South Africa, the Mbothi.
Yep.
Right, so
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
for me,
right.
like,
We've got all these
there's
cool
all
old-
these
yeah.
cool old school beer styles around that, not the beers that we traditionally drink now.
No.
And they're all traditionally someone
In
did,
some-
right?
yeah.
But then also there's a whole lot of beer styles that people don't really want now, and that's cool too. And I'm not expecting everyone to like wake up and go, oh, I want to drink a fucking
No.
Keptinis. I get that. But I just think that just saying, oh, it doesn't go in the beer guidelines because not enough
Is-
brewers are making it, I think that's a wrong
No.
decision.
No, especially if it's already in there. There's no reason to remove it. It doesn't do. It costs nothing to just keep it there.
Yeah. But
It's-
also, like the Ukrainian Golden Ale, like Lana's doing a lot of pushing
She's-
it.
oh, man.
You read about the
Give-
Ukrainian Golden Ale, about what the differences are. It's like it does sit in between the Belgian and the English.
Yeah, but there's actually regional differences as well, apparently.
yeah.
There's like all these tiny little things that change.
Yep.
And I did not, like, I'd never heard of the style before you told me about it. You
Yeah.
go, let's make a Ukrainian golden ale. I'm
I
like,
love weird stuff,
Okay,
yeah.
sure, done. Let's make it.
It's what I like think is just important for beer brewing and the beer brewing
Yeah.
public as a whole. Like, surely home brewers are interested in this
Yeah.
stuff too. I mean, that's where I got my start, and that's where I found like the Adam beer. I was just that narcissistic. I thought, I wonder if there's a
There's a
beer style, and then there was.
Yeah. But I have to say that when you sent me that photo of Hendo with Lana,
Yeah.
and I saw that, I'm going, no bloody way is he actually meeting her. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah.
But then I get a photo the next day,
He's got
and
a
he's got a
fucking
can
can.
of Ukrainian Golden Ale.
I know.
So to be honest, if he comes back, and Hendo, I hope you're listening.
Oh, he better hold that
You
can
better fucking
and
bring
let
that
us
back,
taste it,
otherwise I'm gonna be annoyed.
Yeah, we
And
definitely
I
wanna
will hold
taste
that
beer.
over you
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, because I know for a fact you can bring beers in internationally into
Oh
Australia
yes,
many times.
100%.
Yeah, I bought suitcases back and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
said, oh, it's just beer.
Well, he's taken suitcases over.
Yeah, well, he nearly lost them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, let's not go into that.
Dodgy endo. Yeah, well, he actually took a whole suitcase of hiker beers over.
Yeah. So
yeah.
at least he can bring one can back.
That's right.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what he's like. He'll look at it and goes, oh, I've got a beer.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ukrainian Golden Ale, guys. If you haven't seen it, read up on our website. Go to Aussie Beer Voyage and find Ukrainian Golden Ale under the beers menu. It's
If you're a home brewer,
information on there.
if you're a home brewer, I'm pretty sure you put the recipe up.
I did put your recipe up, and if I haven't, I'll go back through our messages and put it up.
Yeah, I've still got the recipe for it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had that on my personal software.
I'll
so
brew it again. I like
Yeah.
the style. I think it's a really
like-
it's a really good autumn beer.
Yeah, I mean, when we put it on at Gabs, it was definitely one of the biggest Like, obviously, everyone makes Gabs beer, so we
Yes.
made a Gabs beer.
Yep.
But we had that, and then the next most talked about beer was the Ukrainian Golden Ale. Everyone's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, and
everyone thought that was our Gabs beer.
I think too the big thing is that Lana tries to push. She's not trying to make this style political or anything like this.
No.
Was well before the war in Ukraine and all that sort of stuff.
If you actually look at her website, and
it's been going for ages.
It's been going for a long time.
Yeah,
and
but it's more the fact that this is a
great
unique
style.
beer, and it's a great tasting beer.
Amazing beer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know why I got on my soapbox there.
Yeah,
I had a little bit of a Phil's rant.
yeah. So we've got a few things to talk about today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So this Saturday, this Sunday rather, our releases go up on Sunday, is our first head brewer who is a female.
Yep.
But we both know her.
Yeah,
It is
Becky.
Becky
over at
from Little Miss Sunshine.
If you ever meet her, don't call her Little Miss Sunshine. She will kick your ass.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a firecracker.
She's a legend. We had
Yeah.
a great chat there. Like Joel and I were walking around. My wife Hung was there as well, so we had lunch. But it was.
What did you the last time I had food there? The food was good.
Oh, the food was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hung said that was actually. She wanted some chili sauce and she got this. She got a steak with like some butter and stuff.
Yeah.
And she even said to me, she said the food there was the best she's ever had since she's been in Australia.
Yeah.
She's now 10 years, and this woman eats
Yeah.
a lot of everything everywhere,
Yeah.
and will be the first to complain.
Yeah.
And she was loving it. So
like
yeah, it was great.
the good thing with Little Miss Sunshine, and I hope them well, because honestly, I think they've got a great team behind them.
Yeah.
The owner, the guy that runs it, Minay, he's been in the hospitality game for donkey's years.
Yep.
He runs a hell of a lot of venues, knows what he's doing.
Yeah, the group owns heaps, right?
Yeah.
RMS.
Yeah. So when I saw that they were the ones that were opening, I'm going, this place is going to do well.
Yeah. No, it was great. The beers are fantastic. I can't wait for Becky to do something else, like another beer style or something. I definitely want to go in and check it out.
But I think you'll probably agree, she's doing the right thing, like keeping to what the public wants as the generalised beers. The lager they did was great.
Yeah, it was excellent. She said that came out a bit drier than she wanted.
Yeah.
And she said people are just frothing over it.
Yeah.
So
So she's just that's it. Pale ale. I went in I just ran in one day because.
What did you think of it?
It
And be
was-
honest,
yeah,
100%.
So for me, I went. It's a bit too bitter.
Yes.
I think for the general puncher, it's a little bit too bitter, but I fucking loved it though.
I loved it too, and I love bitter beers. But as a session IPA,
Oh yes,
right?
Not
Because
wrong.
The amount of hops that she's extracted out of it is
Man,
phenomenal.
When I was drinking, I'm going, what ABV is this? I literally,
Yeah.
So it was and this is what I love to see is love going into venues. Now that have a bit more free time, I can actually go out to venues again.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Nice.
Is that I walked in and it was a Friday, probably about 4 o'clock. I was meant to be somewhere at 5:30. I had my partner with me as well.
Yep.
And we walked in, and I was like, "Oh, we're a little bit running behind. We're a little bit early, so let's go somewhere for a drink rather than going where we are and whatever." And I went, "Actually, you know what? Because it was a weekend or during the school holidays for me.
Oh yeah.
And it was a Friday afternoon, and they had rail buses and all of that sort of stuff. So it dropped us off at Roma Street. I'm going, what's a good venue nearby?
Yeah.
Normally I would say let's go to Brewski.
Yep.
That's a whole nother story.
That's close.
well, that's the new guys have taken over. They're now opening this weekend. But
Oh really? Okay. Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing. But I went, actually, I know of a venue that's within walking distance.
Yeah.
Let's go to Little Miss Sunshine. Didn't realise that she had put her second beer on.
Yeah.
And walked in and went, I'm having a pint of that. And went, fuck, it's a bit bitter, but fuck me, I'm smashed
100%.
it.
Yeah. It's such a good beer. I like the bitterness. I love bitter beers.
But it was also her second beer that she's brewed on that kit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The fact
Which
that
is
that's
super unique as
yeah,
well.
the fact that it's a very unusual system to work on.
It's got a square HLT.
A square HLT, like square tanks. Like, what the hell is this? But yeah, I mean, great brewer, great pedigree for her. She's obviously come up from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of great beers down there with Burnley and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really keen and excited to see what they do.
Yeah. I
and
want
what
to
she
see what
does.
else she can do.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really glad because my office at South Bank, I get the bus and it stops almost directly out the front.
Damn it.
So I can see myself on a Thursday afternoon or a Friday afternoon going in there for a couple of years
for
easily.
Sure. Yep. So on Sunday, check that out at 2:30. Drops on YouTube and on our website if I remember to put the correct link in this time so that people can read the web article. Which, sorry, Chris from Archer, because I put Chris from Archer Brewing in the URL.
Yep.
And Joel and I, we decide on the URLs before we do all the posting.
Yeah.
And he had the URL just Chris from Archer.
Yeah.
And because I'd obviously done it wrong, all of the posts were pointing back to a website that didn't exist.
Oh no.
So,
Yep.
it was terrible. The video was still live on YouTube. But
Yep.
There was just, look, we made 2 mistakes in the same week. So I recorded here and I recorded through the wrong microphone. I had this stadium plugged in, but it was recording through the laptop. Just didn't work. You couldn't hear us. We sounded all wobbly.
It was one of those weeks. It was
just terrible. So Daniel and I ended up having to re-record, essentially.
Yeah, it always happens.
We made Strider. Have you heard of Strider Brewing?
I've heard a little things. That's the one that Nick Kyrgios is getting involved with, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's just taken it on. So,
like, I've not heard of Strider. The only, funnily enough, that's the photo that I've seen.
Yeah. So in February, like, they announced that they were doing stuff. They're like brewing beer for the Gen Zers or.
Yeah, I saw that they were
it is.
really doing that social media push,
Yeah.
sort of thing, and they were looking for someone. And I heard that they were looking for someone really to capture that image.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I see is Nick Kyrgios, which is an interesting person to.
I'll come out and say I love Nick Kyrgios. I think he is. I do. Who gives a shit? Like, everyone goes, oh, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. He's a fucking tennis player.
Yeah,
the guy's
true.
playing tennis. He's out there playing tennis. I get, as Australians, we all love to get behind our sports people, and when they're not acting or doing the way that we want them to, we get angry. I get that. But he's just gone, stuff you, I want to do what I want. And who are we to tell him what to do? I get people's mindset about being angry about it. I totally agree. He has a massive amount of talent, and he's got a huge potential, and he hasn't used it.
Yeah, but he's also got a huge ego.
And, mate, I know people in the brewing industry who have that. I know people in just television who cares?
Yeah, actually, like, he's
They're
good
not
at what he does.
beholden to anything that we tell them. And outside of what you see on the court,
but
he does a lot of work on charities and helping
and I have
young
to say,
kids
I do appreciate someone who doesn't do that sort of false "I'm sorry."
Oh, 100. He doesn't give it. He's like, you either like it or lump it. And
he doesn't do this. I'm sorry. I've learnt from my actions. I'm not. I've learnt to be a better person. He doesn't do that shit.
Yeah.
I have to say, I do at least admire him in that perspective. That he doesn't. He's not a bullshitter.
And at the same time too, everyone matures.
Yes.
So
eventually,
he's change.
he will change.
He will change.
And actually,
it's gonna happen.
if we look over the last sort of 5 to 6 years, he has definitely calmed. He's not in the papers every second weekend anymore.
But I think it's an interesting move by these guys. I haven't tasted their beers. I don't know.
They're doing like the health kick sort of stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, like a 2.2% ABV lager.
Low calorie 2.2.
Yeah, 4.4% thing. But I kind of don't know. Like, I get what they're doing. They want to go global with their thing, and is it just because they want to go global because they've got Nick Kyrgios, or do they think that they're going to be able to go global? Like, who's Traveller?
Yeah.
Right? Traveller was going to be the one, the big one,
well,
to take on Better Beer.
You've got Tradie.
Right? Tradie, exactly.
Tinnies.
Better Beer. Better Beer, I haven't heard from them anything.
Oh, look, they're still producing. They're still obviously,
but their voice, like in the market, has dropped significantly.
Yeah. Look, the other one that I thought was going to real push up here, and this is actually a bit of a new thing for everyone that'll probably hear in the next couple of weeks, is bloody Brick Lane.
Yeah, okay.
Pulling out of Queensland.
Right.
They're pulling out a small distro.
Why?
They're aiming for the big guys.
Are they aiming for the big guys, or are they selling so much beer through the big guys?
No.
They brew?
A bit of both. is they're selling a lot through the big guys. They're dropping basically their regional distribution
I
stuff.
must not go to the right bottle shops because I don't really see a lot of their stuff anyway.
Yeah, so like I mean, I'm a bit of a Brick Lane lover. I love their
Oh,
beers.
yeah, I like their beers, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I hunt them down all the time. Because I mean, I went down to Melbourne
Well,
recently.
you're a Melbourney.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm not. I love Melbourne. I'll go down to Melbourne as often as I can, and I'll always hit up a Brick Lane place because I know that I can walk in there and I'll get an amazing beer.
Yep.
Which was my beer of the year actually.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think they're on the same sort of thing. Is they're trying to push the big players, and I think that's what these guys are trying to do as well. I don't think they're trying to be the small guys. I think they're trying to be the next big thing.
Yeah, but I just don't...
I don't understand
I don't see
their
the
model.
space in it. Yeah,
No.
I get what they're trying to do, and they're just trying to use a big name and have some space, but I just don't see...
I think they're trying to do the better beer thing.
Yeah,
And
like,
they're-
are they just trying to take the space away from the bigger guys and not the smaller guys as a brand, like a small brand? They got 2 or 3 beers.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, it's a very relatively new brand, even outside of Nick Kyrgios.
Oh, 100%.
So I think we'll probably see a bit more towards the end of next year. So
Yeah.
give it a year's time, and we'll see. They're 2 years in. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Mate, moving on, this next story, it's not a surprise to me, but local craft beer consumers lose loyalty when their favourite brands are acquired.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you? Like, do you reckon Stone and Wood and Bolter and
Yes and no.
Pirate Life
Look,
are doing as well as what they used to, or what they...
I
Like,
think,
are they doing as well in the craft beer space?
Look, I
Or
think
are they just doing more in the popularity of more people buying them because there's more touch point?
I think it's a bit of both. I think you'll have those die-hard fans that will go, oh, I'm not going to touch them anymore now that they're not independent.
I'm
But
that guy.
You're that
Unless
guy?
I go to a pub. Like, if I go to a pub, like a shitty pub where I was at yesterday, I'm not going to name names, but shit. This beer, which was craft beer, I'm fucking going to name names.
Yeah.
Fixation beer at the Callumvale Hotel.
Yeah, right.
I had a hazy beer. I can't remember what it was called, the little hazy or something. It tasted horrible.
Yeah, but let's be real.
And I'm not saying that it's their beer. It could have been the Lions. It could have been the people who are
Because
looking after it. Because we all know. But
Both, yeah.
a hotel that size, I'm going to say, generally has pretty strict cleaning procedures on their lines.
I don't know who owns Callumvale these days.
It's a Liquor Legends, so
It'll be ALH.
I think so.
Yeah, something
But
like
it doesn't matter. Normally those things will have like a cleaning regime, or someone comes in and cleans
Yep.
regularly. Like, there's just a team that just goes around to hotels
Yeah,
and
yeah.
does that. And I don't think it's the Lions, and I don't think it's... But the beer was not nice.
Yeah.
It was not a hazy. Like, it was a hazy IPA.
Yeah.
But man, it was 100% was oxidized. There was no diacetyl in it.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it was just oxidized. It just tasted... I didn't
Was
even
it old? Do you
finish
think it was old?
It was definitely old.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
Look,
Look, I think it's a bit of a mix. I think people who go, this beer is awful now because it's now owned by a big guy. I think anyone who goes...
I think that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Like
But
you and I, we went to a local pub after Bolter was born.
Yeah.
Down from Parch when we were
Yeah.
working together. And that's what we drank.
Yeah.
Drank some Bolter hazy and it was good.
Yeah. That's it.
I must say, on that, if Bolter hazy's on,
Yeah.
I'll drink it. And it's normally pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Bolter, I think, is the new upcomer in terms of the craft to corporate.
Yeah.
So I think Stone and Wood is probably going to have their day soon.
Stone and Wood,
Every
Brewers,
single time I've had...
they need to get their head read because that beer is tasting horrible.
Oh, see, I had it recently. I had a pint of it recently at a brewery. Sorry, no, at a pub. And I went, oh, fuck, this is what I remember it being.
Oh, mate, I had at 2 different venues.
Yeah,
I had
really?
Stone and Wood within a week, and both of them tasted the same. They were just old hops,
Yeah.
Just not nice
But
beer. Just
let's-
way too bitter. Like,
Yeah, but let's be real. They know what they're doing because they
do
produce.
they? Because Stone and Wood Pacific Ale was everyone's go-to
Yeah.
when you walked in somewhere. If you
Yeah.
saw it, you'd go, "It's Pacific Ale is so good."
Yeah.
Most people don't even know that Stone and Wood brew it. They go, "I'll have a Pacific Ale."
Yeah.
They don't say, "I'll have a Stone and Wood pack ale." It's,
Well-
"I'll have the Pacific Ale."
Yeah,
Like,
or they just go, "I'll have a stone." Like,
I just have a Stone and Wood.
So the amount of
Think that
times that,
that's what
I've
they
gone
brew.
into a place, or I've gone, "I'll have a pack ale,"
Yeah.
and they go, "What's a pack ale?" And I
Yeah.
go, "The Stone and Wood one," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, no problem."
Yeah.
Or you go, "Oh, I'll have."
But that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, it had a huge market share, and I don't reckon it's doing A, the craft beer industry any justice, or B, Lion Nathan any justice.
No, I think.
Because they're not brewing it right.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
what's
missing,
happened because
it's missing a whole
the
lot of
stone beer,
flavour
like,
and
I-
aroma. The hops aren't the same.
no, but also
Well, you can't tell me, and it'd be interesting to know. Like, HBA would never
Yeah.
tell you, but
No.
surely they're still selling the Galaxy to Lion.
Oh no, 100%. They're still like
Yeah.
Galaxy, but
But are they selling as much compared to what they used to
I
brew?
don't know, but also
Because I wonder if the brewers that Lion have gone, we can pull back on a little bit of these hops and
look
add something else.
to be honest, they've probably cut back on a little bit now that it's gone to Lion.
Of course.
But the thing that I look at is I go look at sort of now compared to 5 years ago or pre Lion buyout of Fermentum.
Yeah.
At what Galaxy was like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Galaxy's changed as well. But
Fuck.
going back to what we first talked about, Becky at Little Miss Sunshine
Yeah.
uses Galaxy in her
Yeah.
pale ale.
Yeah.
And it jumps out of the glass.
Yeah.
Super punchy.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I reckon that might be where some of the bitterness is coming from, but because Galaxy bitterness is not
Awful.
nice.
Yeah.
And that's nothing on Becky. That's
No,
just,
no. It's just what Galaxy does.
Yeah. But I think that it's. I would just be very surprised if the recipe is the same.
Yeah.
And if the quality is the same.
I think their quality control will be the same because you look at 4X.
I'm not saying quality control,
Oh, you're thinking about the recipe.
just quality and brewing of the recipe.
Yeah.
Because
They're more concerned about price.
they would be hitting
and
as
numbers.
low as they could.
Yeah.
How do we
Pri-
get the same? All right, so it needs wheat in it. Okay, yeah. Like I just don't reckon
Yeah.
it's not the same beer. to
No.
me.
No. I think part of it used to be that our tastes have changed, but I think you're right. There has definitely been a change. I'd love to know what that change is. Whether it is a reduction in hops, reduction in quality of
Yeah.
product. That they're just trying to punch out as much as possible, and they're adding maybe some malt extract and shit like that to boost
Yeah.
it.
For me, like this article, it just does not surprise me
No.
that craft beer consumers lose loyalty when their favourite brands are acquired. But it's also
But let's actually look at
it makes sense.
But actually, let's
Because what do we want from why do we love craft beer and the little guys?
yeah. So and I think that's the nail on the head. It's
Is
not
it
about the
because
beer.
we
It's not about the
enjoy-
beer. It's not
No.
about the beer at all.
Well, yes and no. You can come into Hiker here. Like in the last 4 weeks, we've released 4 different beers.
Yeah.
No, that's not. We don't do that all the time.
No,
It's just
no.
at the moment,
You
just happens
crazy
to
lunatics.
be happens to be the case.
I'm sure Dan's
Uh,
loving you guys for that.
Not at all, but it just happens to be the case, and it's certainly going to slow down in the next
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of weeks too. But Range release 1 or 2 new beers every week.
Yeah.
The craft brewers they have new flavors coming, and
Yeah.
they try their hardest all the time. All these bigger brewers are constantly just trying to buy the brand and push the brand,
Yeah, so I think that's the thing.
not
is,
the beer.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing is, even if you had it'd be interesting to know sort of, because realistically, let's have a look at who's been bought out recently in sort of the Australian domestic market.
Oh, recently was only the big ones.
Yeah,
Like it was after Bolter, Stone and Wood, everything
Yeah.
stopped.
that's it.
And then from there, they've even been selling off their breweries.
Well, Fixation's likely going to go. Two
Yep.
Birds is gone,
Yep.
which is a shame because I fucking love their beers.
Yeah.
They were amazing beers.
Yeah, they were excellent. I just find it disappointing.
Yeah, I'd like to, because obviously we're looking at this and going, so we're is this
Like
an
if they're not going to buy the brand, and they're doing it for money, man. No, they're looking at the dollar figure at the end of the day.
They're looking at the big guys. But I mean,
the thing is that if you're not going to buy it and brew it and do it justice, just leave us alone.
Mm.
Just let us have our success.
I mean, the biggest thing to look at is look at what happened with Gage Roads.
Yeah.
That they got bought by Woolworths. Woolworths fucked the brand.
Yeah.
And the original buyers were able to buy it back for less than they sold it for.
That's happened overseas.
We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think what the big guys...
Well, that happened with Ballast Point. Anchor.
Anchor Brewing. Yeah, they are some of the biggest American-known breweries that have created some of the iconic beers that kind of steamrolled the craft beer revolution in Australia.
Yeah.
So I think you're right that I think that it's not unusual to see that happen and not unrealistic. But I would love to see what the reason, whether it's just because quality has changed or whether just because it's been bought out that people go, I'm not going to buy it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a hard one to find.
100%. Mate, the next one. So GABF.
Yes.
Has been on. So the Great American Beer Festival.
I've got to get over there one year.
Have you ever been?
No.
I definitely want to go as well. We should go together. That'll be fun.
That'll be messy.
Yeah.
It'll be great though.
That'll be so much fun.
What is it? First, so it was in Denver, Colorado this year, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. 30 years almost. So 29 years.
Yeah.
It's the first year in 29 years that a whole state, Arizona, didn't win a medal.
What? Wow.
Like,
no, it's only since the first time. So obviously the GABF has been going on longer than that.
Yeah.
But it's the first in 30 years that they haven't won anything.
The first time since 1995.
State that from a state failed to net any medals. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's bad.
Arizona has some good breweries.
Yeah.
And to not get a medal, like, it's not just saying a gold.
No, not like even a bronze.
A medal. Like,
wow. And a bronze just says that you've made a reasonable, a decent beer. Wow, that's bad.
Like,
so either it means two things.
Yep.
The quality of beer in the US has gone through the roof, so that everyone's going, this is the standard we expect.
Yeah.
Or Arizona's now making shit beer.
I'm pretty sure that, hang on a minute, the bullfeds at the bar are yelling at me. I'm just going to pause this and we'll just...
Good.
Yeah, all right. So after that little bit of hiccup, I just had to go to the bar and get a new beer, and you go and relieve yourself and talk about these beers. But yeah, I reckon for a big ass beer festival like the JBF, it's a little bit, I don't want to say embarrassing.
Yeah.
But you'd look at your brewing, surely you'd like sort of go, what are we doing or what are we talking about?
It's one of the largest beer competitions and festivals in the US, and let's be real, they're the pioneers of the craft beer brewing world in the world.
Yep.
So it's a little bit bad that you've got a state that, and Arizona does have some good breweries.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm planning on going down over that way at the end of the year.
Yep.
Over the Christmas period.
Nice.
And kind of want to hit up some of the big ones. So Portland, I'll be in for like 2 days, and try and fit in as many breweries as possible. Yeah,
you're going to be in. You're going to be there in a haze, is what you're going to be.
Yeah. But then I've set aside a day, and a bit to head over to, Russian River.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's 2 hours out of San Fran.
You need to speak to my mate Craig. He goes there every time he seems to go to the US. So I just see him at Russian River getting one of the 16 paddles.
I don't want to do that. I just want to drink my body weight in Pliny the Elder.
Oh, people do that as well.
Yeah.
Mate, have you seen any of the Great Northern media push lately with...
oh my God.
I saw Cody Simpson and a whole bunch of stuff.
all over the place. And I'm trying to work out what...
It's all through my fucking TikTok account. At first I saw it and I was like going, oh, cool, beer.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh, shit.
It's Great Northern.
Great Northern.
Like this. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. It makes me think that maybe their current market is diminishing very quickly. because that sort of advertising they've never done.
No, they haven't.
So I'm starting to question what their market audience is looking like these days. Whether they've realised
or are they just trying to solidify their position and have something different and to attract new drinkers?
Potentially. I think it's a bit of both. Maybe I think the main reason is they've realised they've been focusing on a particular audience for a long time.
Yeah.
That audience is aging. That demographic is aging. So what they're trying to do is solidify themselves with a newer generation that they can see themselves selling to for the next 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing, is they're trying to look forward.
Do you think that the money they spend on marketing is worth it? Like, marketing in brewing costs.
Yes. I think...
And trying, like, as a little brewery like we are, trying to work out where you put that marketing money, and sometimes it's not even marketing money as such. It's not like you're going, this is going to marketing, but it's clearly a marketing exercise.
I think you've got to separate us, like the small guys, from them.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, is it worth it to them? Spending millions. That would have cost them millions.
I think it is. I think what you got to look at something like this is think of it like a car brand. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not a product they're selling. They're selling a lifestyle.
So where does that threshold come for someone, say, not Hiker, for example? Let's pick a brand that's pretty well known.
I think once you hit that point where the big guys are looking at buying you out, that's when you know you've hit that point.
Yeah, but then where do you get your marketing budget to push to the next level? Do you rely on your marketing to push you to the next level so that you can get your next influx of cash? Or do you rely on the new investors? Or
so it's a hard one to know. I think I think we've been looking at the big guys for so long as this big sort of invisible entity of sort of like they just buy everything up and that. But obviously they've had investors in the past, and I think what you need to look at is kind of go back into the past and actually look at where they were at the point where they became the big guys. Yep. Because let's be real, Forex never was a big... It didn't start off as a big guy.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were all small brands.
They were all small brands. Yep. So, I think, and I don't know, but I think what we need to look at is actually at what point did they become that brand that you go... kind of like the whole, you're looking for a hardware store. Oh no, where's the nearest Bunnings?
I don't know. I haven't included it in the news here this week, but Moondog this weekend,
they've got a new venue.
They got a new venue coming out.
Dockside.
Yeah, and
that bar, I'm fucking jealous.
Doglands.
Yeah, Doglands.
Yeah, and
that bar is.
It looks mint, right? It looks so good.
Man, that circular bar is man.
All of their outfits, they're spending a shitload on, and it's working for them. I'm just sort of wondering, like, are the days of
I think the days of you open a craft brewery and being independent and making beer are done. I think they're done.
It's very difficult, right?
I don't think you can open a new brewery these days and go, oh yeah, I'm going to be the newest independent brewery in this area. There's no brewery in this area. Yeah. Therefore, we're going to do it.
Just I thought Dan was coming up to steal his laptop back before he needed it.
It's probably not far off. No, but I think those days are done. To be honest, and
I do too. I think we're businesses that are hospitality businesses that happen to brew beer.
Yes, I think anyone who goes, I'm opening a brewery, and goes, I'm making craft beer, therefore it's going to be good.
Oof. No, never going to happen.
If you do that,
it might come back
just give me the money. Give me the money. You'll be better off overall.
Yep. No,
I think Great Northern are doing the right thing. I think what they're trying to do is solidify themselves in the future.
Yeah. Okay.
With people that currently aren't buying their product.
Yep. Mate,
I did not know about this. But
so you don't listen to the podcast?
I didn't hear this.
We talked about this twice already. So we talked about this earlier in the year. So This is a game called Ale Abbey, and you're beer brewing. You've got the ability to... So it's not a super graphic game. It's quite a pixelated game.
Oh,
But there's now a playable demo, and you can brew your beer.
yeah, but I'm the guy that still loves playing the original Doom. So
I was playing Zelda on my Super NES at home over the weekend.
Nice.
Trying to show my young fella who's only 8 how to play, and he was like, "Why is it so slow? Where do you go to save?" And I'm like,
there is no save.
You've
you
gotta
just keep going.
You've got to find a save point, mate.
No.
But yeah, so this Ale Abbey now has a Steam demo, and you can try it out for yourself. So it does actually have a release date this year. So it is going to be a game that is available later this year, but you can play a playable demo. We'll have this in the show notes. You can go and play it.
What I love is the fact is, like, you're a monastery. Like, it's a Trappist brewery
100%.
that you're playing as.
Yeah.
Like,
There's 20 different European styles of ale that you can play.
and you know there's going to be expansions. There'll be DLCs.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
2024 release window.
Yep.
But you can... So it's likely it'll probably come out before Christmas, you know?
Yeah. I'm super keen for it. I don't even have a Steam account, but I'm gonna get one just to play this game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I'm in.
Breweries are reviving a historic method for making smoky beer. Now, you and I know, because we love historical shit, and the Adam beer and Dortmunders and Rack beer or Rausch beer, however you say it. From way back was pre-industrialization.
Yeah.
That was where you got smoky beer, because all the malt was smoky because it was smoked over coals.
It was heated. It was
Yeah, that's how you did it. But there are 2 breweries in Germany that haven't let go of that tradition. They still make their own malt, and B, they still make these smoky beers. I love it too. I would love to go over there. I would be there all the time if I could. So in Bamberg in Germany, they're brewing a whole lot of beers. It's not just 1 or 2 styles that are normally smoked beers.
No, they're going into a whole bunch of different avenues. They're going into modern styles, but using this old tech.
Yeah.
And I think I love that. I love that mix of that old and new tech and that old and new style.
Yeah.
That we try and break away from that. Oh, you need to make a beer like this.
Yep.
Like both you and I, we brew beers half-assed.
Yep.
All the time.
I don't do half-ass. Everything is full send.
Yeah, but when you look at it from the outside, it looks like a half-assed attempt. But you do it for a reason. And I think that these guys, these 2 breweries, are doing an amazing job of bringing that old world charm and that old world tech and bringing it to the new generation of beer drinkers. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I do too. And I think it's also super exciting that they're not letting the traditions die.
No, they're keeping that old stuff still alive.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, as you were saying earlier, that we lose it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with the Ryan Heitzgebot.
Oh, no.
Have some flexibility in your rules. But at the same time, that tradition-bound brewing also has its place.
Yes.
There's a reason why it tastes good, why it works.
Yeah. The idea of being able to bring that sort of weird-ass flavour.
Yeah.
And that stuff that most people wouldn't expect or haven't experienced before to a newer audience, I think it's great.
Yeah, I think so too. And I love smoky beers.
And the fact that they're doing it over a whole bunch of different woods, so each smoke tastes different. It's like, oh shit, I'm in.
I don't think that there's enough smoked beer in the world.
No, I'll eat a rash beer any day of the week. I'll drink it. I'll make it. I'll drink it. Yeah, I love rash beers.
Yeah. I think it's and it can be polarizing. I think it can be like chili in food.
Yes.
Some people you either like it or you don't.
But also, I think it's the same thing with beer, is that you've got people who go, I don't like beer.
Yeah.
I think they just haven't found the right beer.
100%. There's always
it's the
a
same
beer
thing,
for someone.
It's the same thing with smoked beers, is I think there's people just haven't found the right smoked beer or the right level of smoke for them.
Yeah. I think I agree. It's like we're drinking whiskey. Some people like peat and some people don't.
Like,
I love Octomore,
Yeah,
which is the most heavily peated whiskey in the world.
yeah.
And some people can't even smell it.
No. But I know people who will go out and have love heavily smoked briskets.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I can't drink smoked beers.
Yeah, yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, if you can eat that, which is more smoked than this, than some of these styles, but they won't try it.
Yep.
So I think the same thing with beer. There's a beer style for everyone. Same thing with smoke. There's a smoke level for everyone.
Yeah. Mate, if I was to tell you about a massive international brewery who had to dump millions and millions of litres of beer due to an infection, what are you going to say? Who do you pick? Who's your brewery of choice?
I'm going to go someone who decides to do crazy shit all the time. And if we go in millions of litres, there's kind of only one player in the game that's doing that sort of shit, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you didn't know the headline of this, would you know?
No. It's been a while since I've seen...
Who would you pick?
Oh...
It'd have to be an American thing, wouldn't it?
It would,
Like
yeah.
Sierra Nevada or
It'd be
something
Sierra
like
Nevada, as I said earlier. Like
Yeah.
it would have to be someone...
Like, it'd be an American brand.
It would be an American brewery. I would not have picked this.
No, me either.
And
So-
I was shocked when I saw...
The headline when I
the
put
headline.
it in.
well, no, I'd heard about it, but I didn't realise how much beer it was.
Yeah.
I would not have expected Brewdog. That would not have been on the list.
Brewdog had to discard almost $950,000 worth, or pounds worth.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. Worth of infected beer. And that's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
And not only that, this has all come out of one of their flagship beers, Punk IPA.
Oh, that's just
And also,
devastating.
it's been internal emails and that have been leaked to say this shit has been happening.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I've always... I love Brewdog.
Brewdog, I mean, some of their breweries, they're insane, the amount of beers that they can brew. But to get an infection and have to dump so many beers,
Yeah.
or to not only that, get an infection
Know about it.
and it slips through to customers, and customers get it and be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's a huge company fail
Yeah.
on
I'm
QA process and everything.
and I love Brewdog. Absolutely love them.
I do. I was there on Friday last week.
Yeah.
I went out to the Murray and had myself a Elvis. And
You must have been there not long after we got there. Then.
yeah, really?
Yeah, well, we had the IBA mashup, and then we decided to go there afterwards.
Oh, right.
So-
this wasn't in the Valley. This was out at Murray.
Yeah, this was Murray.
Oh, right. Where were you? What time?
Probably would have been about 9 o'clock.
Oh, no. Mate, I was there at 3:30.
Fair enough. No, but I love Brewdog. I love the beers they make. The Brizzy team is great.
Yeah.
They make great beers, internationally and domestic.
Yep.
They make amazing beers, and I just go, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get this big without having tight quality control and tight quality assurance.
That's right.
How the fuck does this sneak through?
Yeah, no idea. And it's not only embarrassing for them that it's gone public, but it's also costing.
Oh, man.
You know, so much money has been lost.
Because, let's be, like, they say it's £9 million
Yep.
of beer. Now, I want to know, is that £9 million worth of beer at retail, or is that how much it's cost them? Because if it's at £9 million retail, we know, we both know, that the majors, both domestic and internationally, charge fees, and if they have to take a hit, then they charge you money and all that sort of stuff. So I'd be curious to know how much it's actually cost them. And, but also, it's not just financial, it's brand reputation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, we both know that. It's very expensive, and it's not the sort of thing I would have expected to come out of Brewdog.
No.
Yeah.
No. Love the brand.
Yeah.
I'll still support the brand.
100%.
I love it, but yeah, it's such a shame.
Mate, have you got anything else?
No, I think that's about it. Actually, it's been a bit of information this week. Anyway. Yeah. bit of a surprise.
I've been tossing up starting a new podcast.
Oh,
I've got one also on the line, and then I've got another one that I'm thinking of starting up as well.
another white boy with a podcast.
That's right. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Got a microphone. We'll talk.
Yeah.
No, because
Hospitality.
I keep hitting up James and Max down in Sydney about starting our Brews Brothers thing, which is the thing that I want to do.
Yeah, of course.
James and Max, if you're listening, it's going to happen whether I have to tie you down and sit your mic in front of you.
Yeah.
James is an excellent brewer, knows a lot of stuff, and Max, head brewer of Filter, obviously knows a lot of stuff as well. Doesn't know about Gozers apparently, but that's for him to work
Sort
on.
out.
Yeah, that's his problem. But yeah, so I want to do a podcast with them, and obviously still working with Hendo doing his podcast.
Yeah.
Then I also want to shift focus a little bit and maybe do a distilling podcast. And I might have reached out to one of your colleagues, and I just need to convince her. So,
I'm sure I can have a chat with that person.
Yeah. So watch this space. It might be cool. It might be.
I think there's let's look at it. How many distilling podcasts are there?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not any. If I don't.
I don't think there are any in Australia.
There are a
anyway.
couple.
In
There
Australia?
are a couple. Yeah, I always do my research.
Yeah, of course.
There's a
you do.
couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
But I think if we can have a Queensland focused one, which is
doesn't even need to be Queensland focused.
No,
the
but
way that
something
I
out of
do, I've
Queensland,
just got
yeah.
a really cool idea for something, and I think it'll work. So
nice.
yeah. But anyway, that's it from me today.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm
Cheers for stepping in, mate.
No, it was a bit of a weird last minute request.
100%.
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Enjoy it as always.
Legend. All right, pour it out. Take a hike. That's what the.
Oh, is that what? Oh,
Yeah,
that's what Phil
hike
says.
goes, take
Oh,
it off.
Yeah, take a hike, guys.
All right.
Start your podcast
There we press stop.
when you